So what is weed math? How do we use it? Let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages of weed math. Hi guys, and I'm glad to see you again. So today I want to talk about a very important aspect of our lavender farm, and that is the weed math that we have here. As you can see, we have some material that is exactly in the middle of the plants. So what is this? This is a weed math. So what this does, it's suppressing, of course, the weeds. We don't have any weeds, but do we have advantages or disadvantages in having this weed math? Well, it's up to you to find out the answer, but what I can do, I can show you what are these advantages and disadvantages. So here, as you can see, we don't have so many weeds, but let me show you from up close. So 5 years ago, I had enough of weeds. So I was always working my back here, trying to get rid of the weeds, but the weeds would keep growing. So I had this idea of putting this weed cloth in the middle of the rows, because as you can see, I didn't put this weed cloth from the beginning. So I already had these rows and I had to put this weed cloth in the middle. It was a very hard work, and as you can see over here, in the middle there is still soil. But the lavenders were, I think, in the 3rd year or 4th year, and eventually they grew up, and now you can hardly see in the middle of them. And this is only because I choose to prune the lavender in this way, in a round shape, for them to have air inside, and I don't want to let them unite to make a row. I have a place like that in a different spot, and I want to see what's the difference. But I want to keep them like this, round, because I want the circulation of air to be there, just in case to avoid some sort of pathogens and stuff like that. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about advantages. So of course, we have a lot of advantages in using these weed cloth, and you can use this weed cloth not only on a lavender, but in any type of flowers or gardening or whatever you want. So the first advantage is of course the suppressing of weeds. The second advantage is that this weed cloth keeps the moisture down. It keeps it underneath. So that's very good for the lavender, because although it loves the full sun and heat, but it loves also some water next to the roots. Yes, so this is the second advantage, the moisture. And the third advantage is that this weed cloth is treated with UV. Yeah, so what this does, it reflects the sunlight up, and what it does in the middle of the lavender, we will have no moist, because this weed cloth reflects the light, and that means it's going to be dry. So this is the perfect environment for the lavender, but not only for the lavender, probably for the most of the plants, that they will have moisture on the roots, but they will be very dry from the roots up in the body of the plant. So this is the same with the lavender. I want to have a lavender that is dry from the roots up. From the roots down, yes, I would like to have some moist, because the lavender needs water. Although a lot of people say you don't need to water your lavender. Of course you don't need to water your lavender, not that often, but also lavender lives with water. Okay, so these are the main 3 advantages. Weed control, keeps moist, and reflects the sunlight. Now let's talk about the disadvantages. Well, one of the biggest disadvantages that I have with my weed cloth is that I cannot fertilize it organically. Like, what can I put down there for the lavender to have some compost or something like that? And my advantages here is that I have this space between the plants, but in the middle of the row, I cannot fertilize it. Only if I dig up, only if I take the weed math up and then put some compost over there. And the second one is that after I prune in the fall or in the spring, there's a lot of debris down on the mat. So I have to clean it. If I don't clean it, I'm going to show you what's going to happen. So as you can see here, I didn't clean well, and this is what happened. The debris of the lavender, it's getting so eaten by the weather and the snow and the rain that it is going to be just like this, you see. It's gonna be very fine. And if a seed drops here, exactly like what happened here, this will grow. And what is this going to happen? Some of these weeds are so strong that they are going to go through the weed mat. Yeah, it's not that strong, this weed mat, but well, it is strong, but the plants are even stronger. So yeah, these are the main two disadvantages that we have with weed cloth whenever you are cleaning it, and if you want to fertilize it organically or put some compost next to the roots. And now I'm going to show you two ways that I've put my weed cloth over here. As you can see over here, as I talked to you, in the beginning I only had the lavender rows here, so I didn't have any weed cloth. So yeah, the weeds were growing. So after that I decided, okay, I'm going to put the weed cloth. And now I'm going to show you a second way to put your weed cloth. So as you can see here, after that, when I extended my farm and my plants, first of all, what I did, I put the weed cloth down, and then I made some holes in the weed cloth, and then I planted the lavenders. So what this does, it's more helpful than the problem that I have between the rows, because between the plants, in the rows, weeds are gonna still grow. And here, it's like this. I don't have any weeds over here, but I still have to do cleaning every time. Every time I'm pruning them, I will have to clean. My biggest problem right now is that whenever the wind is coming, it's blowing away from trees, branches and everything, and all of them are just here. So my problem is that if only just a little bit of this stays on the ground and rains and a seed is dropping there, then what's gonna happen, that little plant is gonna go through the cloth, make a hole, and I will have to weed it also. So now, if it was to go back in time and start all over again, I would choose the second option. I would do the weed mat in the beginning and then make some holes in it and plant the lavender or any type of plant. Now, if you want to see the difference between a weed cloth field and one without, let's go into my old farm. In the very beginning, when I started the lavender, I had a place where I was experimenting. I didn't know how to grow lavender, but still after 10 years, the plants are still there, not all of them, but most of them. And I want to show you the difference between here and there, and then you will wisely choose if this cloth, this weed cloth, is useful to you. Let's go in that part of the lavender field. Well, I think it's obviously what's going on here. If you look carefully, we have some lavender here. Yeah, I know you cannot see them because of the weeds. So, the advantages of not having weeds is only that I can fertilize them, which is not needed for lavender. And second, when I prune them, all the debris stays down in the ground and will turn into eventually compost. But otherwise, the disadvantages are huge. So now, what I'll have to do is just come here and going with a mowing machine on the rows, and after that, between them, with a trimmer, and I can tell you, it's really hard work. And this, in comparison with the other part of the field, well, it takes a lot of time and effort. So in the end, it's your choice, but I think the choice is obviously. Well, this is all that I can tell you about wheat cloth. So, if you think the information from this video is okay, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, post them in the link below. I will answer each and every single one of them, okay? Until next time, see you, stay safe, and grow plants. Bye-bye.